You're listening to
Catholic Sprouts,
the daily podcast for Catholic kids that strives to plant seeds of faith.
Hey Sprouts, I'm Clara from Holy Heroes. Holy Heroes is a Catholic company that strives to bring the joy of the faith to you and your family. Today is September 14th, 2022, and today is the feast of the Exaltation of the Holy Cross. We're going to continue talking about Carlo Acutis today. So from a young age, Carlo had a set daily prayer life. He read the Bible and the Catechism of the Catholic Church every day. He also prayed his rosary daily because he believes that without Mary, it would be pretty difficult to imitate Jesus in daily life. He loved Our Lady of Fatima, and as a young boy, convinced his parents to take a road trip there. There was another image of Our Lady that he also loved. In Pompeii, Italy, there is a beautiful picture of Mary, and it's known as Our Lady of Pompeii. Carlo had a special devotion to Our Lady of Pompeii, visiting this beautiful image and praying in front of it. He even consecrated himself to Our Lady 7 times during his short life. Now, because Carlo was praying every day and trying to develop his interior life, he became very aware of his shortcomings. He knew that he talked too much sometimes he ate too much. And even though he was praying every day, sometimes he struggled to concentrate. Whenever he realized that he was really struggling with something and failing to do something he was supposed to be doing, he would go to confession. He would try to go every week, and he also kept a prayer journal so that he could keep track of, what he was struggling with, remind himself what he needed to improve on, and also keep track when he was growing in virtue. If you're old enough, a prayer journal is a really awesome thing to use to help you organize your prayer life and remind yourself when you need to go to confession or if there's something that you're really struggling with. So even though he was young, Carlo was already pretty involved at his local parish. He would go to Mass every day, and he also became an assistant teacher for parish catechism classes when he was only 11 years old. He was only a few years older than the students he was teaching, but they loved him. And by the time he was 13, he was teaching his own class. His students could see how much he loved Jesus and the Catholic Church, and his prayer life would pour over into his work with the children. They all loved to hear from Carlo, especially about the Eucharist, because they saw by his daily life, going to confession, praying in front of the Blessed Sacrament, that showed them how important the Eucharist really was. Now, during his catechism classes, between teaching them and instructing them about the faith, Carlo would sometimes take his entire class into the church so they could pray. And he would remind them that no matter how much you learn or study about Jesus, the most important thing you can do is spend time with him in prayer. Carlo really wanted the other children to understand that Jesus is truly present in the Blessed Sacrament. And especially during adoration, you can sit in his physical presence, talking to him, praying to him. This is a good time to use a prayer journal so that you can keep track of what you're thinking about. And anything that comes to mind as a message from God, you can keep track of so that you can remember through the rest of your day when you leave adoration. Carlo's love for the Eucharist inspired him to do a few other very important things that we're going to talk about tomorrow. So check back tomorrow to learn how Carlo's love for the Eucharist and his knowledge of computer science were combined into a really interesting project that we still get to use today.
That's it for Catholic Sprouts today. We'll be back tomorrow, but until then, continue to grow in your faith and truly sprout into the beautiful creation that God created you to be.
Holy Heroes is my family's business. We help you bring the joy of the faith to your family through saint stories, books, games, and so much more. If you enjoyed hearing about Blessed Carlo, click the link in the show notes to get the free Holy Heroes 4-page coloring download about Blessed Carlo. You can also go to holyheroes.com/Carlo to learn more about our Blessed Carlo book, Glory Story audio drama, prayer card, and more. And remember, our online adventures throughout the year are free. Check out holyheroes.com to learn more. Thanks for listening.
This show is a production of the Spoke Street Media Podcast Network. For more great podcasts, visit spokestreet.com.